everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and you may have noticed that I did change my YouTube name again. I decided to change it to something that was a little bit more inviting to what I'm doing here on this channel. And so I decided to rename my channel Jessica's World because my world just encompasses so much more than just being a preschool teacher or doing hair content or, or my faith, even though my faith is like a super huge part of it. But like, I just wanted a name that encompassed everything that I'm going to be talking about, because I still want to take you guys on the journey to, me growing my hair out to waist length. I just needed something that was going to be a little bit more broad, if you want to say that. So I came up with Jessica's World instead, because all of these things are a part of who I am and what I like to talk about. And I just didn't feel right leaving hair out of the equation, because hair and hair growth has always been such a huge part of my life. Back when I started my hair growth journey, I was real committed to getting my hair longer than what it was at the time. At the time, it was like all the way up here. And so, yeah, it just became a huge part of my life. So I just wanted something to really reflect that. Also, I think I've updated my posting schedule. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow myself time to get good content. So like this week, like last week, I did a video on, what to expect when becoming a preschool teacher. So that week I talked about being a preschool teacher. This week, this video in particular is going to be about hair. And then next week I may do a video on something surrounding faith. And so that is just a good balance for me, because I do work and it is a little bit more trying to try to do multiple videos in 1 week when you work. Then you still have to have time to edit. Like right now it's Monday, and I'm still gonna post on Tuesdays, but I won't post on Thursdays because it's just too much. And so I've decided to film like either a Sunday or a Monday, so I can give myself some time to actually edit the video and put everything together and then post it on Tuesday. And throughout the week I may do little shorts here and there. And I'm always posting, of course, on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. And, I'll put all of that in the description box. You guys can follow me over there on my other socials. But yeah, so that's just I had to be realistic about a posting schedule, because I really do want to grow my channel. I am looking to get my first 1,000 subscribers, and I really do want to, like I said, grow the channel, but I have to do it in a way that makes sense for my life. So that's just a little bit of housekeeping I wanted to get out of the way. So yes, so welcome to Jessica's World, where we talk about all things faith, hair, and the crazy extravagant life of being a preschool teacher. So yes, so today, like I said, it's going to be a hair video basically surrounding the short that I did yesterday. I did post some pictures in a small short in regards to my 1 year hair growth, and just really comparing last June to this July. And had I been paying attention, I would have done it from June 20th 2024 to June 20th 2025, but I didn't really pay attention to it until yesterday. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, let me just go ahead and post this, and then I will make a follow-up video explaining really everything that I did, because length retention isn't just about slapping some products on your hair. This has taken me a lot of trial and error to figure out what works. I have high porosity hair, and it's so funny, it took me so long to figure out my hair is actually high porosity, because my mother, my grandmother, ever since I was a little girl, they've always told me your hair just drinks up moisture. It just eats up moisture, whatever they would say, And I never really thought about it because high porosity hair tends to, it I guess I don't really want to say that's what it's doing, because it's like you're getting the moisture, but then it's just going back out faster than what you hoped. And so it has taken a little bit of trial and error for me to figure out what works, like keeping my hair moisturized while still wearing it either out or wearing it in twists with just my natural hair. Because I wore some braid styles with added hair, but I didn't wear a lot last year. I was pretty conservative on, using braiding hair, because I've always noticed every time I would take my hair out of braids, that caniculon hair, however you say it, my ends would be so fried and frayed. It was almost like razor blades going to my ends. And it's like my hair was always so dry. And I understand there's going to be shedding when you take braids out. However, it was so much dryness. It was ridiculous, right? And so I really had to figure out what was going to work for my hair. So last year, I just really focused on moisture retention, and I focused on really just letting my hair breathe. That was really it. And keeping my hair, of course, protected at nighttime, bonnets, things like that. And also utilizing things like this. Like today, my hair is still in the chunky twist, but I decided to wear my little beanie. And underneath this beanie is actually a satin bonnet, because I don't ever put just fabrics on my hair, because that would definitely defeat the purpose, right? And so I made a conscious decision for 2025 not to use any added hair. No, nothing. I don't really do sew-ins anyway, so that was already out. But as far as braiding hair was concerned, crochet hair, I had decided not to do it. Also, my hair doesn't really like being in styles. That was another short that I did out of nowhere in the blue. I just don't think it's necessary to confine my hair in something that it's already telling me that, hey, I don't want to be in this style. Like, because my hair does a lot of, like, my mom would always say crawling, my hair will come out of braids, my hair will come out of twists. It just does not like to be confined to any one style, which is why I'm surprised years ago when I did locks, it conformed to that at the time, but in this season in my hair, it's not. This is all the new hair. None of this hair has ever been locked, because the hair that was previously locked has been cut off. So I guess this growth right here, this hair wants nothing to do with any permanent styles or any styling, period. Like, I have really utilized chunky twists to help keep some moisture, but then I will take the chunky twist out, and then I will let my hair be free until I have to wash it again, which my washing schedule is once every week. I may, depending on the circumstances, push it to 2 weeks, but not normally. I normally am very consistent every single week. I have decided to stick with one product line as of now, because it seemed to have been really working, and I have decided to stick with the Shea Moisture Bond shampoo and conditioner. Like I stated before, I have high porosity hair, so I have to really have a good balance of protein and moisture, and this really gives me that. So I have the shampoo and conditioner. I also have the mask. Now, I only really do the mask once a month when I do my henna. So I do henna treatments on my hair for natural coloring. It's next month will be time to do it again. But I do henna and indigo powder, which is like a 12-hour process because of what I have to do. And I may do a video on the henna treatment and walk you guys through how I do it, and just we may get to it. But I use it because it is a natural. Henna is great because it's a natural color, hair color, but it's also a natural strengthener. So I've heard it said that it can act as a protein treatment because it does strengthen the hair. So I was using henna last year too, which I believe also contributed, excuse me, to the strength of my hair and to my hair, you know, retaining its length and things like that. So yes, so got that, and I also use the Balm Repair leave-in conditioner. I also use the bonding oil. So if I ever need to do like let's say diffusing or anything like that, this bonding oil is great. It is lightweight, and it also acts as a heat protectant and helps you reduce frizz, which is really, really awesome because I was using the Tresemme heat protectant, but I was noticing that my hair was feeling kind of crunchy, and it may be because of the alcohol that's in it. So I decided to nix that. And so this is the product line I have chosen to stick with. I also use as a sealer, I also use for my ends, I also use my hair grease, and I am going to put a picture of the things that are in that hair grease. I got this recipe from a coworker, and I'll put it somewhere like over here or something, but I did get that recipe from a coworker. It's like Blue Magic, Sulfur 8, Do Grow, and I may put like a list of everything like right here because I can't remember everything, so I might put a list of everything right here. There's some oils. There's also like a hair fertilizer in there. So yeah, it's pretty good, and it's done me pretty good. Now the thing about hair grease is you don't need a lot. You do not need a lot. You just need just a little bit. You know, you don't want to use too much because you don't want your hair to be super, you know, yeah. But you know, so those are the products that I use. I don't really use a lot of stylers. Right now I do, if I want to use a little bit of foam, I do use the Cream of Nature argan oil foam. And right now, and if I want to use a gel, I have the Aussie Moist macadamia oil gel. I don't have them here with me. I forgot to get them out, but yes. And so I do use those. I don't really use a lot of stylers all the time. It just depends on how defined I want my hair to come out, which is not really ever the case because like I said, right now I'm in this phase of letting my hair do what it wants, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now as far as, I just threw away my brush. I threw away my brush and I have been finger detangling, and the only time I use my shower brush was when I would kind of detangle in the shower, like as I had, you know, conditioner in my hair. But that's the only time I used it, and this is like very, very gentle. As you can see, the bristles are not very, like they're not very hard, you know, they're very flimsy, and I like that. And this thing is so easy to clean out, and that's why I threw out my other brush, because it was just getting, it just, I don't know, I just didn't like it, and it was hard, it was very hard to clean. And so I just threw it out and told myself I would get another one. But really, I'm just thinking about going in and just doing a bunch of finger detangling and just really learning to feel for my hair, and so, you know, see how that works out, and see if the finger detangling is really for me, especially since I don't plan on blow drying my hair a lot right now. And if I do blow dry it, it may be using the tension method, you know, where you hold the ends of your hair and you kind of let the hot air hit it, and then just like leave my ends be, and then like twist it up and let my ends just be, because it's all about taking care of your ends and babying your ends and keeping your ends moisturized. Of course, the rest of your hair, most definitely. But I think that because the ends are the oldest part of your hair, they're more frail. So you want to keep it, I want to keep the heat away from there. As opposed to the middle of my head and the roots of my hair. So there's that. Trim schedule. Last year, I think I trimmed my hair all of twice. One time of which I did it myself. I had my beautician do um a trim for me. Oh no. Oh, I gotta think about this. Yes. No. I only trimmed once last year in August when I hit my year mark of my post big chop. And then I trimmed my hair again this year, 2025, on February, which would have been 6 months later. And then I just had her trim it again on no, I just had her trim it again in June, just to make sure I got everything. And then I've just been kind of doing, and I'm due to do another trim in December just to have her look at my hair. And I'm really just going to have her blow it out and not straighten it or anything like that. Just have her blow it out, trim it, and then maybe put it back in a curly state, do some chunky twists or do some straight backs and be done. But yeah, and like here lately, I've just been doing really more of a search and destroy type of thing to keep my ends, pretty good without having to trim everything. You see what I'm saying? So I think that that's also been a good, you know, thing in my length retention journey is not doing a bunch of unnecessary trimming. I think search and destroy or little dustings here and there like is really helped to maintain the health on my ends. And guys, this is just what I'm saying worked for me. This is how I'm looking to retain length, okay? And so I have just decided that, like, going back to what I said previously, my hair does not like to be in styles. For whatever reason, I don't know. And so I've decided to just let it do what it do. Because when my hair was shorter, like in a TWA, all I did was keep it moisturized and my hair grew like crazy. And that was the realization I came to the other night. I'm like, my hair grew like crazy when I just literally left it alone and I wore it out and I put it in chunky twists and I covered it up and I just left it alone. And people like a good example, and I'm gonna name drop her because she's been in the YouTube space, social media space for years. Her name is Indigenous Strands. I don't know her real name, but her YouTube channel is Indigenous Strands. She has like super long hair. I'm talking about to the back of her knees long. And this is something I feel like she had been saying all this while. Like, keep your hair moisturized, keep your ends moisturized, and leave it alone. Literally leave it alone. Put it up in wraps, put it up in twists, leave it alone. And mind you, she doesn't trim her hair, so I don't, that's for her, that's a spiritual thing. Look, y'all, I'm not there. We'll see how things work out. I mean, I'm definitely on the path to trimming less than, because at one point I was on a every 3-month trim schedule and I was faithful. So when I first started my hair journey, I would trim my hair every 6 weeks, y'all. I was trimming my hair every 6 weeks, just cutting off unnecessary length. If I could go back and tell myself, my young self, anything, it would be don't do that. Don't do it. So dumb. But then I had not too long ago, like 2 years ago, I had myself on an every 3-month trim schedule, but still trimming off unnecessary length. And so I've decided to do every 6 months. And in between it, I will just be searching and destroying, looking at my hair, keeping my hair nice and moisturized. And like I said, this is what works for me. I am definitely on the track. I want to get down to only trimming my hair once a year if I can, because it's just you just need to trim as needed. I would say maybe, get to a place where I can trim only once a year and just do search and destroy, and that's it. But right now it is every 5 to 6 months, and I just do search and destroy. I do a little dusting on my own, and bam, that's what's been working. But I also think, like, I would go into the diet aspect, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. My diet's not that great. I mean, I still get in my protein, and I drink lots and lots and lots of water. I have one of those big bottles, and it tells you, like, 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 10, 11 a.m., and it just kind of, it's like a water drinking schedule. I do drink plenty of water. I do eat fruit. I eat vegetables. I eat protein, things like that. But I do drink soda and stuff. I do. I don't drink it a lot, so, but I do have an okay diet. I mean, I don't know. I have an okay diet, so I'm not really going to speak on that part. I don't know. I don't do anything crazy, y'all. I don't. Honestly, like I said in my short, taking pictures is going to be your best friend, because you're going to be able to see yourself retaining length. It's like I didn't realize how much length I had really retained until I looked back at that picture, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that was like a year ago. That was literally a year ago, not 2 years ago, not 3 years ago. That was a year ago. Because sometimes you can look at your hair and think to yourself, is my hair really growing? Is my hair really, doing anything, or am I crazy, No, your hair is definitely growing. It's a biological thing for your hair to grow. Everybody's hair grows. What I'm looking for is, am I actually retaining length? Am I actually, on my way? Because I have a short-term goal right now. My short-term goal is bra strap length. And of course, my long-term goal is waist length hair. And once I get to waist length, where it goes from there, who knows? But those are definitely two goals. I have a short-term goal and I have a long-term goal. Short-term goal is bra strap. Long-term goal is waist length. But after waist length, I'm not going to be cutting my hair. So wherever it goes, right? And so, yeah, so I am just really excited for this journey, and I feel like I'm more focused. I think that it's very, very important to be intentional. Like, I moisturize my hair on wash day. Super important. Moisture starts on wash day, guys, with clean hair. And then I will moisturize again in the middle of the week or as needed, because again, I have high porosity hair, and sometimes it loses the moisture a lot faster than what I had anticipated, but then sometimes it doesn't. And so, so it's just about being intentional about your hair. I don't want to say hair growth journey. I want to say length retention journey. I'm on a length retention journey. I am not on a hair growth journey. I'm on a length retention journey, because we've already established that hair grows. Biologically, that's a thing. And also, guys, genetics, I don't. Because when I was a kid, I know my mom and my grandma both had long hair at one point, like when they were younger. Because they would tell me all the time. They had, I had long hair, And I believe them because of the people that were around them, like my uncles, my grandfather, and things like that. But they ended up cutting their hair for whatever reason, and then it just didn't grow. They just didn't get to the same length that they had at that point, like at whatever point in their life when they were younger. And I really believe it has to do more with hair care. It has to do with hair care. genetics doesn't determine how long your hair grows. Now, it may determine your texture. It may determine even your rate of growth within 1 month, within the span of 1 month. But normally, healthy people grow anywhere between, I would say, half an inch, maybe to an inch of hair. But I never heard of any more than that. So, but yeah, so it's not my genetics. So, I don't have good hair. I have healthy hair. Healthy hair is good hair. I don't care what texture you are, okay? All hair is good hair as long as it's healthy. Say it again for the people in the back. All hair is good hair as long as it's healthy, okay? But yeah, but that is my routine, what I'm doing, how I did it. It's really just routine, guys. It's like I told my husband, I don't care if a woman is black, white, Hispanic, whatever. No woman, no man for that matter, has super long, loose hair. We're not going to talk about locks, okay? Because locks, those are in a class of their own. Their type of growth is in the class of its own. I'm going to leave the locks alone. But I'm talking about loose hair, where you have to actually brush it out, detangle it, keep it from doing all kind of great, moisturizing it. I'm talking about y'all, us. Nobody has super long hair to the back of their knees or down to the floor without work. Because if think about it, because I used to hear growing up, well, she got long hair because she's white, she got long hair because she's Mexican. No, she has long hair because somebody is taking care of it really, really good, or she's taking care of it really, really well. Black women with super, super long hair, they're taking care of it really, really well. So, and normally those women have an established routine, or those men, whoever is growing their hair that long, they have an established routine, or somebody that they know has a routine for their hair. Nobody just, I don't care what you say, it's work. When you talk about getting hair past bra strap length, that's work. And maybe you got one or two people or a few people that, are just blessed and they could do absolutely nothing and it's fine, whatever. But for the most part, from what I've seen, no matter what walk of life or race a woman or man is, they did a lot of work to get their hair super, super long. So let's just do the work. I'm just saying, for me, I'm just going to do the work. And so guys, this ends my video. I am going to be putting in some, pictures and things like that when I edit. But guys, I thank you so much for joining me and, just listening to me ramble about, my hair care routine and what I do. And I just thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.